Welcome to ReFramed, the panel show that analyses all things disability in media. I'm Jason Climo.
And I'm Stephanie Dower, and let's meet today's special guests. First up, we have Jen Hargrave, who is an advocate and researcher focusing on safety and justice. She's currently working at the University of Melbourne on a project about disability access to important information in emergencies and is completing an internship at the ABC. Welcome, Jen.
Also with us today, we have Nethra Raman, who is a musician based in Sydney. Recently, she was one of the top 28 contestants on The Voice Australia 2024. Welcome, both of you. We're so excited.
Thank you.
All right, so now let's get to know both of you a little bit better. Jen, you do a lot of research around disability access. What do you feel is the most promising thing you've discovered in relation to accessibility?
I think in a recent project I did around how people recover from experiencing violence, we talked to a lot of people with and without disabilities, and a lot of the people with disabilities spoke about the power they get from peer groups and self-advocacy groups, and just how much they share information and build up strength together. And that movement makes me feel so positive.
Nice, yeah, people coming together. I love that. That's good to know, yeah.
Bit of a hope out there.
Yeah.
Well, I've kind of taken a different turn. So I want to know from you, are there any bureaucratic roadblocks that can get in the way of progressing disability access? And then if yes, which I imagine that there are, how do you navigate them?
Well, one of the biggest ones I think of is that a part of bureaucratic processes is consultation, and all levels of government have gotten quite professional at doing fake consultations and even calling it co-design now. And they're so good at that. And for people with disabilities, there can be lots of barriers to even participating in those consultations. And I've actually had people say to me, oh, there's only a couple of you disabled people here, so we didn't really hear much about disability access in our consultation.
If you don't ask about it, you won't hear anything about it. So
You don't seek out the people. They're not just going to come knock on your door.
Yeah. And hey, we're 20% of the population, so did you want to weight your results a little bit accordingly and reflect on who's not in the room? Yeah. So to circumnavigate that barrier, bring on the revolution, hey?
I love it.
Still a work in progress then? Okay.
A little longer.
Yeah. Keep me in the loop. Now over to Nethra. How does the intersectionality of your experience as an artist of colour and an artist with a disability inform your perspective on your work? It's a juicy question.
That's a great question. I think having or being part of two minorities, I'd say, it makes me feel very special. It makes me feel like I have a lot of power to try and change the way people perceive us. I think it also means that I can try and reach a wider group of people and be able to represent so many more people who feel like they don't see themselves, that they don't feel included or part of everything like any other person does. I think it forms a very complex situation in my mind where I'm like, I have this mission that I need to want to accomplish. But I think it's very special, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely, I love that. So I'm really excited because you were on The Voice this year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm really curious because I think we've seen a bit of disability representation over the years on The Voice. Give us a bit of behind the scenes, Gus. What was your experience like in regards to like accessibility and inclusion behind the scenes?
A great question. I think I was very, very fortunate actually. I had people were always asking if there were ways that they could make situations easier for me, getting to set, on set, wherever we were. There was always people to help out, accessible bathrooms, everything was there already set up. And just the people itself, it didn't really feel like I was separated from the rest of them. It was all just like one big happy family, which was really good, and I think I was really fortunate for that, because I know some other people did have quite differing experiences, whether or not they had a disability or not. But I think my experience was actually really good.
Oh, good.
I'm so glad to hear
Yeah.
that. That's
Me
so
too.
good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm interested to know like what the
Yeah.
whole stage setup would be like. but-
Yeah.
they
and also
were-
just their attitude towards it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like whenever we had to, like for the sets and things like that, they always were checking and making sure that I was comfortable, like with the types of shoes, and like firstly I suck at wearing heels and like walking on like steps and things like that. They were always very mindful, and they kept making sure that I felt comfortable, which was great, which was really
good.
great. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, well,
Yeah.
again,
Awesome.
congratulations.
Thank you.
It's time to test our pop culture knowledge with Get Your Head in the Frame. I'll be asking our panelists multiple choice questions about pop culture and disability. So let's get into it. Question 1. Michelle and Barack Obama's production company, Higher Ground, produced which award-winning film? A. Crip Camp, B. Coda, or C. The Peanut Butter Falcon? Steph.
Yes.
Speedy.
Yes. Crip Camp.
Yes, correct.
Yay, which is a great. I think that was one of my speedy suggestions on a previous episode.
was.
So yes, go watch
Nailed it. Nailed it. 1 point for Steph.
Woo! Finally, I'm on the board.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Question 2. Which American actress and Broadway star sang the American anthem during the 2024 Summer Paralympics closing ceremony? A. Madison Ferris, B. Ali Stroker, or C. Marissa Bode? Steph?
I have no idea. Ali Stroker.
Yeah.
Really?
Correct. Good guess.
How did I not know that?
Oh my God,
Oh
you're
my
actually winning
God.
for once.
I know, this is
What is
exciting.
going on?
I'm redeeming myself.
2 points for Steph. There's still 2 points up for grabs. We could have a draw still.
Oh, we could.
Question 3. Singer Troye Sivan has which connective tissue disorder? A. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, B. Marfan syndrome, or C. Rheumatoid arthritis? Jen?
This is a guess. C.
No. Nethra?
A.
No. Steph?
Marfan syndrome.
It is indeed Marfan syndrome.
I knew it wasn't rheumatoid arthritis because that's what I have. So I'm like, I don't think we share that. But
Yeah, I always
interesting.
forget that about
I did not know that at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
I did not know that either.
There you go. I thought it was A as well. I thought it was EDS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
There you go.
We're learning,
We
guys.
are learning
Yeah.
some things. Love it. All right, final question. Steph wins by default
Woo.
on 3 points, but
Fault by hard work. What do you mean?
well, yeah, I guess. Too much research.
Pains him to say.
Too much research.
No guessing.
But someone can still redeem some pride by getting this point. Question 4. Comedian Hannah Gadsby talks about her late autism diagnosis in which of her stage shows? A. Douglas, B. Nanette, or C. Body of Work?
Wild guess. Nanette.
Incorrect, I'm afraid.
Damn.
Jen?
Douglas?
Yes, well done. Somebody had to get 1 point out of you.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, because Nanette was the one that blew up everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember Douglas kind of was like the follow-up maybe, or
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Good
You
to
were
know.
too fast on Crip Camp.
Yeah. See?
I know, sometimes it's
I had
like,
to steal it from you. Yeah.
when I play, I've got like my hand. Like,
Yeah, literally. All right.
Amazing. Well, congratulations to everyone for giving it your best shot, and then congratulations begrudgingly to Steph
I was
for
going to say, that
winning.
really pains Jason to say that. Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, so now it's time for our favorite part of the show and talk. Both of our guests have each brought a piece of media along for us to watch and discuss. Each clip will show disability in the media or on screen, but we'll find out whether it's positive representation or perhaps it might be a bit harmful and out of date. So Nethra, we might start with you. What have you brought for discussion today?
I have brought The Greatest Showman. It is a musical film. I think released about 2017, so about 7 years ago, kind of talking about the story of P.T. Barnum, who was this showman, I think in about the 1800s or so, and he put together this show of, I guess, the weird ones, the outcasts of that time. But yeah, I'm excited to share my thoughts about this film.
Amazing. All right, well, I'm also keen to discuss this one, so let's take a look at the clip.
You must be Gertrude Stratton. I'm looking for your son.
I don't have a son.
The hospital record says you do. Charles, right? Age 22?
Charles! Charles!
P.T. Barnum, at your service. I am putting together a show, and I need a star.
You want people to laugh at me?
Well, they're laughing anyway, kid, so might as well get paid. I see a soldier, no, a general, riding across the stage with a sword and a gun and the most beautiful uniform ever made. People will come from all over the world, and when they see him, they won't laugh. They'll salute.
Okay, so The Greatest Showman, starring one of my favorites, Hugh Jackman. Nethra, what is it about this film that sparked your interest in bringing it to us today?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a very, very, for me, it was a very interesting sort of prominent scene in the film because it was like the first time, I think probably ever, because when I went to watch this film, I was pretty small. It was like one of the first times I saw someone, another little person on screen. And this scene, although I think they started off talking about how he would have felt, I guess, like that people were going to laugh at him if he was going to be part of the show. And the way that Hugh Jackman's character tried to turn it around. And showing or trying to, I guess, convince the character, the little person, that people would come around to respect him and salute him. Although I think that could have just been in this particular scene to try and convince the other character. I think for me that was pretty moving because I felt like someone who looked similar to me in some aspects was going to try and be respected as a person and not just made fun of, and not someone who was just going to be ridiculed. Like I saw myself, like I said, I felt like I saw myself on screen portrayed in a way that wasn't ridiculed as people with short stature have been in so many other films.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. It's I have to say, I think I saw this film 3 times in the cinema.
Yeah.
I even went to a sing-along version, which was like a religious experience. It was great. I love the music in it. But no, I think you're so right. I think this particular scene, obviously this is a fictional film of, yes, they use sort of real historical figures, but it's not a documentary. Unfortunately, this is probably not the way it went in real life.
Exactly,
But I think from a story perspective, I agree. I think it's, he's giving him an opportunity to, stand on his own 2 feet as well and have his own independence. And I think he was giving that, the other characters in the film were also being given that opportunity, which is something that you know, we don't often see,
Yeah.
you know, sort of giving people the spotlight and but yeah, I know there's a lot of discussion out there around like, you know, is this sort of ignoring the real realities of
Yeah.
what this was back in the day? And I think, you know, it's important to keep in mind that this is a fictional version. It's not a documentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, I have fun.
Yeah, I think building upon that, for something that is fictional, I think the way that they did it, in my opinion, was done really well, because like as a child, as someone who's younger and very impressionable, seeing something, even if it's not actually what happened like 200 years ago, seeing something that is empowering is really exciting and inspiring for younger people to watch, more than, I guess, just like harping upon the harsh brutalities of how it actually happened.
I agree. I think I sort of see this as a aspirational version of what it could have been. Like, instead of rehashing, you know, what went so horribly wrong back in those days, you know, can we show a reimagining of like how it could have been and how it could be, you know, moving forward. I think that's a really cool way to look at it. Yeah. What about you guys? Did you have any thoughts on it?
There is a lot of discourse around
There's a lot of
around this
discussion.
film, and
Yeah.
like
For
it's
sure.
been happening the last 7 years since
Yeah.
it came out. I know that when I first watched it, I wheeled out of the theater and I was like, I just feel conflicted because like, yeah, part of you expects that we're not going to ignore history, but then at the same time, I feel like I always bang on about how I want films that just depict the way things should be.
Yeah.
As well. So, and I know that we probably need a mix of both. And as we've been discussing this season a lot, like we need content that kind of covers off an array of different experiences of people with disability. Whether they're actually fully inclusive, like shown to be fully included or not, it's important to actually show what life really is like for people with disability as well. I think because we're not included right now.
That's
so,
it. One thing I really want to know behind the scenes, so the character of Charles that we just saw in that clip, played by Sam Humphries, I believe his name is. Yeah. They changed his voice and his height.
Height. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always been curious why they decided to do that. I don't know. Do you have any insight into that, or?
I don't really have any insight into that. Like I'm not too sure why they would have done that as well, because I know, like you said, he is actually taller. So I guess it may have just been to emphasize the difference. I that's the only way that I can think that they would have done that for, and just to create more of that contrast, because potentially if he's a little bit taller, it might have blended too much with the rest of the characters. I that's the only thing I can see.
I say he must have blown them away in his audition, because if they were like, we're going to bring this guy on and we're going to, you know, make alterations to, you know, so that he's the one that fits this character, like, he must have been invaluable to them. So
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, I must have been under a rock in 2017. So I first heard about this film from you very recently, and I went looking and reading all about it, and some of the things we've been saying about how it didn't match true history seems to come up in the critique too, around race and Zendaya's character in the film as well. So that's really interesting parallels there. But hearing you speak, I think is a good reminder for everyone about those first impressions we have when we're young and how powerful they are. Yeah.
That's it. And I think it's also important, like, everyone's going to take something different from these films. Like, if you have an issue with the film, you know, don't take away from others who get something really meaningful out of it. And I think we all have our own perceptions of it. So let's just all, you know, if you enjoy it, great. If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to watch it. Yeah. Easy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I think we'll hand over to you now, Jen, to talk us through what you've brought in.
I'm so excited to share this. So this is a video clip by singer, songwriter, and many other things, including bookmaker, writer, Eliza Hull. So this is called Running Underwater, and this is an amazing introduction to her because, first of all, you hear her voice that's got so much depth and emotion in it. One of my friends says it sounds like Kate Bush singing Stevie Nicks. I'm not sure, but I hear like so much depth and emotion in the voice. And then you see my favourite dancer of all time, who I've learnt about through this clip, who's called Roya the Destroyer, who does a lot of hip-hop dancing, but in this film, her dancing really matches the song. It's got a lot of strength and depth in it as well.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, well, let's check it out.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're all big fans of Eliza Hull on this show. But Jen, what really, I guess, spoke to you with this clip?
Just watching it now, it's actually helping me get words for what I remember thinking subconsciously when I was seeing that, because I grew up and my mum was a wheelchair user and I've got low vision. So we weren't always moving in the way people expect bodies to move. And seeing that represented on screen feels really powerful in combination with those vocals. It's amazing. And it motivated me to see Eliza. So I've seen her live quite a few times as well. And then seeing that on stage, accompanied with always lots of different instruments and really beautiful instrumentation. It's so amazing, and a place a lot of people with disabilities come together in the community to come to the live shows, but also a lot of other people, because there'll be hundreds of people there and I'll be looking at them going, who are all these people? I don't know all these people. And they've come because they love music. Yep. And they're there enjoying the music, but also hearing messages about disability. And at the end of one really big crowded gig, it had been amazing, and I was shocked no one was looking at their phones. I was like, I can't remember the last time I was in a room full of people. Yeah. No one was looking at their phones. It was probably 1999, I reckon. I was just riveted. And then towards the end, Eliza said that she was feeling some pain that day, and you could feel like so much empathy in the room for people who felt chronic pain, having that validation, and then for their partners and friends and family that were there that were like, oh, okay, yeah, pain's a thing. And amazing singers can have that too. Yeah.
That's the thing. I think it's just being open about that stuff and hearing other people experience that. It's like, oh my God, we're not the only one. Like, you know, that's the power of representation for me. That's just, it gives you that feeling of belonging, accepting, understanding, all of that. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, and it like builds up the understanding of people around you as well, like as a whole community. I think we all need to learn to better understand each other's experiences and keep striving to do that.
But also, like, how interesting is it to watch, like, that dance routine? Like, that's just...
Also, the upper body strength.
Yeah, literally.
Hanging onto that door.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
And also, I think showing the power in her, like, mobility aids, like, with the crutches. Like, again, I think on a previous episode or another episode, we were talking about how there's a lot of stigma around mobility aids, like wheelchairs and crutches and all that, seeing as a limiting thing. But I think that routine shows just how much power and, you know, strength that using crutches like that. It's really cool and really interesting to watch.
There's one other thing about Eliza, I have to say, and she did a performance once, and I am gutted I missed this. She did a duet with Nethra.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Eliza's incredible, amazing. I think all that emotion that she was able to put through just through this small clip, it's literally just like that times 10 on stage and performing with her. It just is so much love and so much, I guess, that sense of like embracing that feeling and like empowerment. Like in whoever's disability or like whatever abilities anyone has, it just feels so warm, which is really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
How are women coming together? Love it.
Thank you so much for bringing in those two pieces of media. I know I loved watching them. I loved
good.
analysing them, and I hope everyone at home has loved watching them, or if they haven't watched them yet, go and watch them now, and let us know what you think about The Greatest Showman and Eliza Howell's brilliant video clip. But before we do wrap up, I'd love for all of us on the panel to give our friends at home some speedy suggestions. So these suggestions should be things about positive representation in the media about people with disability. Could be like a new app that you're using, a great book that you've read, or even just like a tip about like daily life for other people with disability. So we'll go around, we'll start with Nethra.
Yeah, of course. So one of my dear friends is actually creating a documentary at the moment, encompassing, I guess, the lives of people with dwarfism like myself, different types of dwarfism, and their experiences at the World Dwarf Games, which occurred last year. And basically, it's coming out in a couple years, so not yet, but stay tuned for that, because he's, thus far I've seen, he's done a great job in showing I guess the behind the scenes pretty much of lives for people like myself, the good things and the bad things. So it should be very exciting. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Brilliant, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What about you, Jen?
I am looking forward to something I feel like is coming up. So over the last 40 years, there's been this campaign to get transport accessible in Australia. Public transport is not fit for our public, and people have been sustaining that campaign for decades, but I feel like the energy is starting to really bubble up again, and we're going to be seeing a lot in the media more about that.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm excited.
Nice. He's hoping it actually, does have those outcomes.
We can catch the tram to work.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
That
nice?
would be really nice.
Yeah.
All right, and Jason, how about you?
Well, mine is a bit different to sort of what we normally do, but I went to a concert at Northcote Theatre recently, and I was really, really happy with the accessibility of it all.
Nice.
Had like pretty much the best seats in the house, to be honest. So yeah, it was like all standing room, but they had like a nice kind of comfy section for us. Yeah.
Cool, awesome. I love when I get to go to concerts and they actually just have it all set up, ready to go.
Yeah, and it was really easy. I literally realised probably 20 minutes before I was leaving that it says like, give us a call and let us know you're coming. And I was like, shit, I didn't do that thing that I was supposed to. And then I called them and they're like, so fine, we've got it all set up. You'll be good.
That's it. I dream of the day when we don't have to put the extra effort into calling ahead or giving people a heads up. Let's just be able to rock up like everyone else and it'll just pan out.
Exactly.
Perfect, yeah.
One day.
One day we can dream.
What about you? What's your suggestion? For
So I'm going to jump on the Eliza Hull bandwagon today and promote a kid's book, Come Over to My House. It was actually the first book I ever bought my nephew, Freddie. And I went into the bookstore and was looking in the kids section and I saw this wheelchair on the front cover. And I swear, if I go into any shops nowadays, whether it's like toys or like marketing material or anything like that, if I'm like wheelchair, I swear I'm like the dog in Up being like squirrel. I'm like, oh, wheelchair. And I saw like a wheelchair on the front and I was just like, oh my God, cool, what's this? So I start reading it and every page or every like story is about a different type of disability. But it was so just like, oh, like, me and my mum, like, we use this and it's, a bit different to what you might have in your house, but like, this is how we do it. And it's just so it was just a very smart way of introducing young people to different types of disabilities and just the way, you know, it plays out in day-to-day life. So definitely recommend for all kids out there, come over to my house. Yeah, it's a good one.
Brilliant. Awesome.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you, Jen and Nethra, for being here and joining us today. So before we let you go, our audience might want to know where to find out more about yourselves and your work. So Nethra, where can audiences go to find out more about you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Nethra Sings. So that's NETHRASINGS. But yeah, mainly on Instagram and TikTok. That's where I post all my content.
Awesome. I'll definitely be checking that out. And Jen, how about you?
You'll see a little generational shift. As they say, I'm on Blue Sky and LinkedIn, and I quit that thing, that whatever that was.
Oh,
yeah.
That. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to have research and some articles for the ABC coming out over the next few months, which is exciting.
Stay tuned to
Brilliant.
ABC for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you everyone at home for watching. Thank you, Jason, as always.
Thank you, Steph.
And yeah, be sure to check us out on social media. And until next time, have a good one.